Tenerife disaster.
Авиакатастрофа, произошедшая на Канарских островах, стала крупнейшей по количеству жертв за всю историю гражданской авиации. Новость о том, что два самых крупных на тот момент пассажирских самолета столкнулись на взлетной полосе, потрясла весь мир. Трагедия стала прецедентом для проведения исследований в сфере безопасности и внедрения новых методик обучения экипажей.
Situation before the incident. The Tenerife crash was actually caused by a bomb threat at Gran Canaria Airport. Due to the threat at Gran Canaria Airport, many flights, including Pan Am 1736 and KLM 4805, were diverted to Los Rodeos Airport in Tenerife. The small airport was much busier than usual. KLM 4805 had arrived from Amsterdam and was preparing to depart from Tenerife. Pan Am 1736 had arrived from Los Angeles and had made a temporary stop in Tenerife. Visibility at the airport was very low due to fog, which was a major factor in the tragedy. Incident. Two Boeing 747s were on the runway at Los Rodeos Airport at the same time. The KLM plane began to move, thinking that it had received clearance to take off, but in fact the controller had not yet given permission. At that time, the Pan Am plane was trying to leave the runway. Due to heavy fog, the crews of both planes did not see each other, and the controllers did not know the exact location of the planes. Due to these uncertainties, the KLM plane crashed into the Pan Am plane at full speed. Two Boeing 747s were on the runway at the same time at Los Rodeos Airport. To understand the exact development of the incident, it is necessary to pay attention to the following stages. 1. Preparation of the KLM plane. KLM Flight 4805 was ready to take off after refueling. The pilots contacted the controller and requested permission to take off. The controller had not yet given permission, but there was a misunderstanding in this communication. 2. Pan Am flight behavior. Pan Am 1736 was trying to leave the runway. During this time, due to heavy fog, the flight crew could not see the KLM plane's movement. 3. Dispatching errors. The controllers were not able to fully control the situation on the runway. Due to the lack of a radar system and poor visibility, there was insufficient information exchange between the controllers and the crews about the exact location of the two planes. 4. Collision. The KLM plane began to move, thinking that it had received permission to take off. At that time, the Pan Am plane was still moving on the runway. The planes only noticed each other a few seconds before the collision, but there was not enough time to avoid it. A KLM plane crashed into a Pan Am plane at high speed, causing a massive explosion. The crash results. The KLM plane exploded in the collision, killing all 248 people on board. Only 61 of the passengers on the Pan Am plane survived, while the remaining 335 passengers and 9 crew members died. In total, 583 people died in this terrible disaster. Causes. The Tenerife crash was caused by a number of factors. 1. Human error. The KLM pilot took off without full clearance from the controller. 2. Communication errors. There was a misunderstanding between the pilots and the controller. 3. Heavy fog. Visibility was very low. 4. Limited airport infrastructure. Los Rodeos Airport was not suitable for handling so many aircraft. The Tenerife crash was caused by a number of factors. 5. Human error. 1. The KLM pilot took off without full clearance from the controller. 2. Misunderstanding between the pilots and the controller led to these errors. 3. The pilot was under stress and pressure, which led to poor decision making. The KLM crew felt responsible for the flight delay and decided to hurry to save time. 6. Communication errors. 1. There were ambiguities in radio communication. For example, the KLM pilot misinterpreted the dispatcher's word, takeoff. 2. The lack of clarity in language and terminology confused the pilots. 7. Heavy fog. 1. Visibility was very low, and the planes could not see each other in time. 2. The lack of a modern radar system at the airport made the situation even more difficult. 8. Limited airport infrastructure. 1. Los Rodeos Airport was not really suitable for handling such large aircraft and heavy traffic. 2. The lack of parallel runways, meaning that planes had to circle around the runway. 9. Dispatching system. 1. Dispatchers were overworked and could not fully control the situation. 2. Dispatchers did not know the exact location of both aircraft due to fog. Results and changes. The Tenerife crash led to major changes in aviation safety. Following the incident, radio communication protocols were improved. Clear and standardized language became the norm. More security measures were introduced at airports, including the installation of modern radar systems. Pilot training was introduced to improve decision-making in stressful situations.
Способен принимать широкофюзеляжные лайнеры, но из-за большого наплыва бортов быстро становится перегруженным. Диспетчеры вынуждены использовать для стоянки авиалайнеров даже магистральную рулежную дорожку. Среди самолетов, совершивших вынужденную посадку, 2 Boeing 747. На борту первого